So when you find out you're going to be following a guy with 4,000 slides, all of which have 700 data points on them, and you're the guy between people and booze, you go big. You go simple. You go big ideas. And the big idea we have today is you are wonderful human beings, but no one else knows about that. So let's fix that today. Let's make you amazing. Let's make you invaluable. Let's put you in a situation where every time you show up to a meeting, people are thrilled you show up. Does that sound like everybody else's day right now? Is that how you live your life? No? Good. Perfect. Let's go. All right, solution number one is how to sound smart at your meetings. Just say blockchain will fix all your recruiting problems. It's fantastic. Blockchain's amazing. Hold on. Oh, I'm sorry. I had it wrong. AI will fix all of your recruiting problems. VR? No, that's not right. Experience. No, hold on. Damn it. Programmatic. Come on. Social media? No. Content. That's a good one. I've sold content to some of you. No. Faxes. The answer is faxes will solve all of your recruiting problems, right? Going way back when faxes mattered, solves all your problems, which should illustrate how stupid most of this stuff is. So I'm James Ellis. I have a podcast. I write a lot. I work for Universum. I'm not going to sell you anything. Talk to me later if that's a thing you want to talk about. That's fine. Let's get started. So here's something that when you say it makes you sound like you went to the Sorbonne and actually studied. Innovation is violence. How many of you have talked your boss into buying a new tool, buying a new process, installing a new idea? You said, let's do this thing. I mean, you hopefully didn't do it like that in your office. I don't know what kind of relationship you have with your boss. If you do, points. That's fantastic. That's a score. But you convince someone to do a thing. We're going to invest in programmatic. We're going to invest in whatever this is. We're going to do it. And someone cuts a check. And someone buys the software, and you hand the software to all the recruiters, say, I made your life all better. We're going to make this all better. It's going to be fantastic. And how many of those recruiters love using it? Nobody. Because you broke the first rule of getting somebody something new. And that is you have to uninstall something before you can install something new. So if you ask them to switch sourcing tools, you have to kill the old sourcing tool. Does yet another hammer make your life easier? No, you just spend time going, which hammer do I use? I don't know. I'm confused. I'm going to go back to the old hammer. And surprisingly, that brand new shiny hammer stays very shiny because no one uses the damn thing. So if you want to be smart at work and see success when you suggest tools and processes and policies, start by killing something first. Kill it dead with your bare hands. Feel the meat in your hands. Get the thing. I'm American. Have you noticed that? Okay, good. I know what you're all thinking, yank. This is my favorite. You drop this bomb in a meeting, meeting's over. Meeting's done. You all go home, you think you're the smartest people ever. Focus. That's right. You're doing the dog showing a card trick. No, what? What the hell does that mean? What? Those are big words. What the? Optimizing this. Oh, my slide broke. Thank you. At least now I'm the idiot. That's fine. So here's the slide. Optimizing the subsystem disoptimizes the big system. If you're building cars, and you're in charge of making the car go fast, what do? You slap the biggest possible engine on the front, and you take away all the body panels because it adds extra weight, and it doesn't make it any faster. Congratulations, you've built a death trap. Good job. But you did your job. You made the car fast. They asked you to make the car fast. You made the car fast. If you're a sourcer and they say, bring me lots of candidates, and you bring them 1 million candidates, you've made a death trap. You did your job. You did the thing, bless you, you did the thing they asked you to do, and you did it really, really well. You over-optimized a teeny piece of the system and screwed up the rest of the system. So if you're going to think about how to make things better, like a slide perhaps, nope, I'm not pointing anything out, but if you're trying to think about how to make your lives better and how to make work better, think as a system. Right? If you're bringing in too many candidates, how do you keep too many candidates from showing up? How do you actually reject candidates? How do you keep them from applying? How do you get the people who you'd never in 1,000,000 years hire, keep them from applying? How do you get, when you get them in, you show them a world in which they will be successful, and when they show up, it's actually like that. It's not just a bunch of bald-faced lies. You're not over-optimizing the system. As recruiters, you are tasked with a tiny piece of a very big system. But the very big system isn't recruiting. The very big system is hiring. Anybody here in charge of what salaries get offered? Anybody? Anybody? Liar. Anybody? Good. No, of course not. Anybody in charge of what benefits get offered? No, of course not. How many people here are in charge of what benefits and comps does and how long it takes them to do whatever it is they do all day long? Right? When you have a job offer and you're like, can we offer them 60,000 pounds? And they go, we'll get right back to you. And they don't. Can you fire them and say, do a better job? No, you have no power over that whatsoever. Hiring is a massive system. How many people here have the power to fire their hiring manager? How many would like that power? All of you. Hands everywhere. Exactly. But you can't. But they're as crucial a part of hiring as you are. And yet, they're not measured by their value and their ability to bring in clients, their ability to bring in candidates and to select great talent. You are. That is your job. You are measured on it. You are hired and fired on that purpose. But if the hiring manager is an asshole, you're screwed and you have nothing you can do about it. So focus on the broader system, not the subsystem. Clicking. All right. This sounds like I was really high when I wrote this slide. Wrote this slide. It is 4 words, James. What are you talking about? Wrote this slide. Jeez, you pompous bastard. Anyway, this is all how my head goes. This is me 24/7. My friends will tell you, yep, that sounds right. What's a job? If you're hiring someone to sell things, are you hiring them to pick up the phone 20 times an hour? To smile and dial? To put the responses in Salesforce? Is that their job? No. If you hire a nurse, is their job to do what the doctor says? No. If you hire a sourcer, is their job to bring you 1 million candidates every 27 seconds? No. A nurse's job is to make you feel better, to make you more healthy. A salesperson's job is to drive value via sales. A sourcer's job is to give you people to talk to, valuable, useful people to talk to. Okay, great. So that's a job. I get it. It's a job. But it's not. Because when we think about sales and we say your job is to drive value via sales, but we're going to tell you your job is to spend your time picking up the phone, smiling and dialing, what if you invent an app that teaches people how great your product is? And when people download the app and they use it, they go, this is an amazing product. I want to buy some. Did I click it? 2 minutes. I don't have enough hands. What if they made that app? And it's easy to make apps these days. Go talk to any developer. They can wet these things out in 10 seconds. Is your job as a salesperson to pick up the phone or to make an app? If you make an app, are you a developer or a salesperson? It's getting very blurry what a job is. Because we've been told for 1 billion years that a job is a set of tasks that you follow. The government has a list of tasks in any given job expected within that job. You're a project manager, you're going to do these 10 things. Is that your job? No, your job is to make sure the product doesn't kill anybody and it shows up on time. That's your job. And it turns out that we're entering a world in which the concept of job is not about tasks, but about outcomes. Did you drive value? If you didn't, go home. Have a wonderful life. If you made all the phone calls and you documented all those calls in Salesforce and no one bought anything, you suck. Right? Anybody disagree with that? Anybody think a person who does all the right things but doesn't drive the outcome is doing a great job? Of course not. Thus, a job is the value. So when you talk to the hiring manager and they say, I need you to hire a project manager. Great, what's the job? What kind of question is that? Which is a good kind of situation to be in when you're dealing with a hiring manager. Anything that puts them on the back foot is good for you. And then you're going to follow it up with this. I mean, what's the purpose of this job? What value are they bringing to the company? What do you really want? And suddenly, you are going to have a radically different conversation with your hiring manager than if you just go, okay, you want a project manager, got it. I'll go to the list and do the thing. You can really get at the guts of what this job is for, what the hiring manager is looking for, and you can get rid of all the layers of bullshit that usually happens with your standard job rec. That sound like fun? I hope so. Control is an illusion. I'm an employer brand guy. I love employer brand. I love employer brand. I write about it, I talk about it, I speak about it, I consult about it, I sell it. I love employer brand. My whole life is a 4.5-year-old gorgeous little monster and employer brand. End of list. And I know that my job is not to have control over anything. Because, spoiler, you don't have control over anything. Well, that's not true. Over anything of value. Your job is to facilitate, to take the job recs and take the applicants here and sort through a couple and bring a couple over to the hiring manager and say, yay, you good? Really? Yes? No? No? Okay, I'll be right back. And you do it again. Does that not sound like everybody's job every day, 24/7? It's about right? I know you're drunk. I know I sound like a crazy person, but I really know what I'm talking about. The trick is if you want to hire better. Yeah, I haven't ignored you. I'm back. If you want to hire better, you're all are my victims here. You're not audience members. You're victims. You are subjected to me. If you want to create value, you don't focus on the things you control, because anything you control is not very useful. And that's not because you're dumb or horrible people. It's just because that's life. How many people would pay $100 today? I'm sorry, I forgot where I was. 100 pounds today to swap their worst hiring manager with a great hiring manager. 100 pounds. That's nothing to ask. I got sales all over the place. That is a no-brainer. And you know why? Because you do not control them. And the hiring managers you have great relationships with, you've established something that is not control, but something much closer to a magical world we call influence. They listen to you. They know that you're smart. You might be asleep, I can't tell. They might think that you're very smart, that you know what you're doing, that you have an understanding of the market of nurses or project managers or whatever the hell it is you're hiring, right? You know, because you hire 20 nurses a week, you know what nurses are paid. You know that trying to offer an entry-level nurse job for 15,000 quid is stupid. It is actually going to make your entire life harder. But they don't know that, and they don't care. It's not up to them. It's not their problem. You deal with it. But if you decide it's not about control, but it's about influence, you start to build those relationships with hiring managers, with sourcers, with, God forbid I say it, candidates. You don't want candidates to ghost on you? Get them to like you. That's all about influence. Control is not going to get you where you want to go. Why? Because you live in a little tiny silo. You can control all the little grains of sand in your silo. Good for flipping you. It doesn't help. But real value comes when you reach out of your silo into places you do not control, and you make friends. Make friends with every single hiring manager. Make friends with your most recent applicants and most recent hires. Ask them what they love about this job. Ask them, why did they choose this job? What about your conversation made them want to work here? Leverage the influence you have. That makes you more influential and able to do a better job. This is my favorite. Regardless of whenever the downturn comes, and let's be fair, it's coming. We know it. We all know in our bitter, dark, cynical, black little hearts it's coming, and we're all a little terrified, but let's drink tonight before tomorrow we die. But anyway, I'm not drunk. I know that was a thought that most of you have had. I'm not. I know. Yeah, thank you. Whew, me drunk is terrifying. They aren't candidates. They aren't applicants. They are not supplicants. They are not, please, sir, may I have some more? And my middle name's Oliver, so I get to make that joke, okay? That's allowed, okay? It's not me being Dickensist. Okay. No one ever gets the Dickensist jokes. Anyway, they're not candidates. They can apply anywhere. Anywhere! They can apply anywhere! And they did. You are a nobody. You are a road bump, a speed bump on their journey to a better job and a better life. Ba-bump, ba-bump. That's all you are. You're a speed bump. If you treat them like candidates. How many people volunteer in their spare time? Okay. Do you do it because there's just nothing on Netflix? Do you not know about Netflix? It's amazing. They have great shows. You should watch Netflix. It's fantastic. Netflix does not sponsor the content of this or any other podcast. You don't have too much free time that you need to just give it away because you're bored. Why do you volunteer? Is there something you care about? There it goes. Other volunteers. Who else volunteers in their free time? Right there. Why do you volunteer? Too much free time? Something you care about, maybe? Makes you feel good. Something you care about. A mission, something that makes them feel good. Wouldn't you love it if every single candidate applied in your job because it made them feel good? I'm not high either. Yes, that is a bar to which we should all aspire. We should all be trying to build a world in which applying for your jobs is flippin' magical. Not because there's a video, not because the ATS is fantastic. By the way, ATSs were never meant to be seen or touched by human hands. That is a lie we've all embraced. They suck. Sorry. Someday. Anyway, but if you treat them like they're volunteers, that they're individuals who are choosing to spend time with you, to take time out of their job, to show up to your interviews, to show up to your phone screens, to take a little half-day vacation and dress up in a suit and lie to their boss about why they're dressing up in a suit, right? Does that sound right? Okay, good. We're all on the same page here. I know what I'm talking about. They gave to you. Why do they give to you? Why do people volunteer? Because it feels good and because it's meaningful to them. So if you start treating your candidates like volunteers, give them a, dare I say, reason to engage with you, a reason to apply for your jobs, and not just call it a speed bump, not just say it's the Indeed job board job roulette. Your company, fantastic. Sure, I'll apply. Kaboom. They made it so easy, it's one click and I'm done. I'm going to do it again. I'm going to do it again. That's all they're doing. They're just hit and apply. But you're a wonderful human being. You're a delight to be around. Your mom likes you so much. You're wonderful. Your boss hasn't said in a while, but you're killing it. You're just killing it. You're doing a great job. Keep it going. And yet somehow those candidates treat you like the speed bump that you've become. But if you treat them like volunteers, if you say, look, even if you don't get this job, you might learn something. Come in for the interview. Let's talk to 3 other nurses, developers, product managers, electricians. I don't care. Ask them questions about their career journeys. Ask them about how you can get better. Provide some value, provide some meaning, and candidates will never ghost you again. They will show up. And when they put on that suit, it won't be that horrible kabuki theater where I have to do this thing where I dress up in a suit because my mom said I have to dress up in a suit in interviews, even though no one in this company has seen a tie in 5 years. Throw it away. Let's talk. Let's get real. Let's make them volunteers. They're volunteering their time, their energy, their passion, their engagement, all words you should want. Give them a reason. How have we gotten to the point where we have forgotten this simple truism that all any human being wants is to have a slightly better life tomorrow? It's why you volunteer. It's why you get married. It's why you have kids. It's why you buy that car. It's why you buy that watch. It's why you buy that show on Netflix. It's why you do anything you do. It's to have a slightly better life, except for our jobs, where we've boiled it down to a series of unintelligible, unreadable, completely useless, unliterary job postings that no one understands, that are effectively the same across different companies. How is that going to make their lives better? All I want to hear from every single one of us is, if you think about this job, if you consider working for this company, let me show you the 3 different ways this makes your life better. Now, if you said it like that, the first time you say it like that, you will feel really dumb. Like it's a Mr. Rogers Hallmark greeting card of how to recruit. If you apply for this job, your life will get better because of these things, because this is what this job will really offer you that makes your life better. It's a wonderful day. No, I'm going to get sued for license infringement right there. But I should have asked. Mr. Rogers a thing in Britain? Did you not get that? Oh, I totally blew it. Okay, my fault. We'll do tomorrow people references later. Anyway, All they want to know is that you're going to make their lives better, that choosing your company, your job, your opportunity, your option makes their life better. But you've boiled it down to, here's your salary. We offer a generous pension program. You guys still offer pensions? Or is it all 401ks now? Here, you will work with other people who are also very smart. This is a wonderful job. I liked it better than Cats. I want to see it again and again. That's how you're proposing, just do the job, just do the job, just take the job, just take the job. This job that looks and sounds and acts like every other job on market, right? I once saw a posting for a project manager, and one was from Google, and one was from a company called American Standard. Anybody know what American Standard makes? Toilets. But the job postings were the same, so it's the same job, right? It's the only piece of information these people have to use to make a decision on that job. And yet somehow Google, American Standard, radically different companies. Because neither of them deigned to spend 4 seconds thinking about how joining them made their lives better. And if you can put on, think of this as a pair of glasses you put on every morning when you talk to a candidate. How am I going to make their life better? How am I going to make their life better? How am I going to make their life better? How am I going to make their life better? How am I going to make their life better? You will engage infinitely better with every single one of those people. Because they will feel how much you care about them and how much you want to make their life better. Just say it to yourself like an affirmation, and gosh, this got really smarmy, but say it to yourself like an affirmation, and you will amazingly spark connections and relationships that you didn't think you could have, just by understanding this one idea. Now, I have a question, because this is the land where employer brand was born. Thank you, Simon Burroughs. Right? Sorry, it is. I'm sorry. We are the usurpers in this world, us Yanks. But too many people talk about employer brand like it's vanity. It's a way to feel better. It's a way to make candidates feel better. And they use the air quotes in their tone of voice, but I know they're air quoting, right? Employer brand, that's just something you use. That's just a rating system. We have a video. Isn't that enough for our employer brand? We checked our Glassdoor scores. We know our Indeed scores. We know these things. We're good, right? No. Employer, no, give me a second here. I am the one with the microphone, so I get to talk. You can do that all you want, but I get to talk. Victims, all of you. It's a business strategy. Because when you boil it down, employer branding does one simple thing. It differentiates your company from every other company. In a world where every job posting is functionally the same, in a world where every Indeed listing is functionally the same, in a world where every ATS sucks, in a world where every social post is, join us! I have a great opportunity. Stop doing that, please. For the love of God, stop doing that. In a world where every recruiter is doing the same tasks in the same way, via the same channels to the same candidates, over and over and over and over, employer brand is a business strategy. The reason you choose Ford over the how do you pronounce the Seat? Seat, there it is. I knew it, I found it. The difference between those cars is not the engine or the body or the style, it's the differentiation. It's this car is different in this way from that car. Your job is different from another job because what? And if you can boil it down into an employer brand, you are able to say, this is how we're special, this is how we're magical, this is how we make your life better. If this is a thing that appeals to you, volunteer. If this is a thing that you care about, boy, have I got the best job in the world for you. When's the last time anybody said, boy, me, and I mean this honestly, have actually meant it when they said it, boy, have I got an amazing job for you. Right? You're just trying to connect dots. Because every job feels and sounds and acts and looks the same. Differentiate, and you win. What's the difference between a Michael Kors bag and a pretend Michael Kors bag that I paid 20 quid for? Nothing. Because they're not well differentiated. If Michael Kors could figure out how to make the design different that other people couldn't copy, that's a means of differentiating. And because of that, they can charge 10 and 20 times more. Let me put it a different way. How many people know a teacher, public school teacher? How many people know a dumb teacher? Put it down, Steve. Why did they become teachers? They don't make a lot. They're not exactly the best working conditions. There's a lot of screaming involved, right? They could probably make a lot more. And I mean like 20, 40, 50% more at some other jobs, selling stuff or trading stocks or recruiting. I mean, they could do a lot of other things, but they chose to teach. Why? By our measurement of you want to get the best job, here we're looking for the best salary, these people are dumb, stupid, idiots, these teachers who teach our children, because they didn't choose the option with the most money. Except we know that's not true. Because what they chose was an employer brand. That is to say, here's why I'm teaching children. Here is why I'm teaching children at this school. Here is why I do what I do. Do you ask your product managers why they do what they do? Do you ask your nurses why they do what they do? Do you ask whoever it is you hire why they do what they do? No. You want this job, want this job, you 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 want this job. I could do this all day. I have a 4.5-year-old. Do you want this job? Do you want this job? Do you want this job? That's no way to live. But if you can differentiate that job and give a clear and concise and memorable and believable reason why, your job just got a lot easier. I believe this is my last real content slide. So many employer brands, so many people who are in recruitment marketing are all about, we're going to help you tell your stories. We're going to help you tell your stories on video. We're going to help you tell your stories on social. We're going to help you tell your stories on pictures. We're going to help you tell your stories embedded in the job posting. We're going to help you tell your stories blah, 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 blah. Your stories are stupid. They're dumb. I've seen your companies. Everybody looks unhappy when they're working, except for that one picture where they're at the picnic and they're pretending to have fun. It's company-mandated fun. And I'm going to do this in a German accent. I'm going to do it. You will have the fun because I said so and I'm your boss. And when you say it in a German accent, it's so much more fun for me. I don't know why that is. You don't want to tell stories. What you want to do is make a story. Understand why people do what they do. What motivated them? Why do they choose this company? Why do they choose this job? Why do they choose this career? Right? Choosing a career is saying, this is my entire path in life. This is no small choice. Choosing to be a teacher is a deep and meaningful choice versus anything else in the world. Choosing to join the army is a deep and meaningful choice relative to anything in the world. Choosing to be a recruiter is a deep and meaningful choice. You chose it. So don't just tell the story of why you became a recruiter, because that story is probably boring, but make a story. Talk about why you all recruit. Talk about why your team loves to do what it does. Have an offsite and say, we're going to take videos of each other talking about our biggest successes and our biggest failures, about what we learned from both of those things. Spend 10 minutes talking to each other and capturing great quotes for social media. Stick them on canva.com. It's free. It's easy. I'm not selling anything. Use it. It's easy. It just makes your quotes look easier. Quotes look prettier. Go make stories. All of your hiring managers, ask them, why would anyone want this job? What's the superpower you want in this individual? What do you think their mom tells their friends about that person when they apply for your job? It's got a cap on it. How do you want people to feel when they apply for your jobs? Have deeper, meaningful conversations with those hiring managers. They care. They want to know. They know that if you can extract that information, you're going to tell a much better story. You're going to create a much better reason for people to apply. So it's not just about looking around, oh, who's got a cool picture of when we were on that boat that one time? Because, by the way, no one believes that. Here's a side note. How many people, close your eyes, think of your career site. How many people have a not smiling person on the front page of their career site? Anybody? 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 Going once, going twice. You're at the bar. You are completely out of this conversation. You're drunk. Look at that shirt. My God. Who let you out of the house? They all have smiling people on the front page of that homepage. Now, close your eyes and think about actual work. Is there a difference? You decide. You do you. You figure out what's really going on. Maybe you work at Disneyland and everybody smiles all the time. I'm not sure what they're on, but they're smiling all the time. That makes sense. You Is that how your company works? Is that how your company works? Is that how your company works? Probably not. I've never worked at a company where everybody smiles. Technically, I'm the common denominator there, but let's not examine that too closely, shall we? Okay, moving forward. Make those stories, because that's what people want to hear. They want to know, why should they consider working for you? That's all I had. You are now free to go and drink. You have my blessing, via con Dios, rock and roll. Thank you so much for listening. I'm doing an Ask Me Anything. Pete Townsend.